by the way, like a 60 or 70. Look, watch his teeth right here. Watch how he's like, "Argh." What causes somebody to do that? Like, what causes somebody to make those big eyes?
Glory, glory to the eternal living God. Blessed be the worth of your God. Blessed be the strength of your God. Blessed be the courage of your God to lead you throughout this of what we call life. Blessed be the day that the Lord has made. Now, today we'll be talking, and I'm just talking, I'm not preaching. We'll be talking about fatality. And you'll be like, what do you mean? I know you catch a little bit of the footage that I showed before, but the vitality of a man, for what I understand is that we have a life force inside of us, a strength, an inner strength that every single man has. And from what I learned about strong men and bodybuilders and warriors and soldiers, what they have taught me is that by looking at them, you know what I'm saying, by the ones that I know and looking at their life, they use a lot of their life force up at the early stages of their life, and then in the latter years they be all depleted. So it's like, I don't want to say it's give or take, or damned if you do or damned if you don't. All I know is that I'm not going to be taking any steroids. That's on the table right there. Your brother, I believe in vitamins and supplements, but not so much of a steroid that would induce my body to get bigger, not by its own natural. But I understand when a man sits there and he works out and he works out and he works out and he gets giant, you know what I'm saying? He gets big, he gets strong. He won't be able to keep that strength like that for the rest of his life. He won't. He'll get one point of his life to where he'll be really big, and then after that, it'll be all downhill. I'm not dumb. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dumb and I'm not stupid. I understand that a man has a vitality, that he has a life force within inside of him, and you could burn all that up. You know what I'm saying? You could burn it, okay, in your 20s and your 30s, you could look awesome. But I want the longevity of my strength. As you look at men like Abraham, as you look at Isaac, as you look at Jacob, even Moses. When Moses died, he still had strength on him. He wasn't a weak, frail man that looked like he was 90 and he was all sucked up and all little. When Moses died, he still had all his strength on him. Moses could have been like 93 or 94 years old. Nah, he was a little bit older than Aaron. And Aaron lived all the way till he was 120, about 120. So Moses had to be in 100 something. You know what I'm saying? He had to be. But even though Moses was 100, Abraham was 100, when they left the earth looking like they were in their 40s, because they did not use all their life force up. Everybody has a life force. You only got so much life force. You can, and you could deplete all of your life force in your early stages of your life becoming a strong man. I feel bad, family. I went out there and I challenged The Rock for all them years, saying, "Oh, let's get in the ring, Rock. Let's get in the ring. Let's box. Let's wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Let's fight," because he was a giant of a man. I feel bad that I challenged that man. Now to look back at him, to look at him now, because he's already spent all them years, 30 years, lifting weights, building up his body. A man is not supposed to sit up there and lose his strength, but you can use it all up. You know what I'm saying? As a man, as you look at all these bodybuilders and all these people who sit here and they lift weights and they use their life force, they exert all their energy. You know what I'm saying? You can become really strong. I know this. You could get really big if you stay up in the gyms. But all the men that's in the gym, about 80% of them, 20% of them will be able to keep their strength. As you look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, he don't look so big anymore, don't he? Don't he? He used to be a giant of a person, but now as you look at him, with him using up his life force, you know what I'm saying? When he get into his 70s, he's going to be all frail, and he's not going to have a lot of energy like that. So the vitality, that man could sit up there and he could bring all this life force out of his body and only use it to the max potential of those 30 years. Or you can evenly even it out. I'm going to even out my life force. You know You know what I'm saying? So by the time I'm 80 and I'm 90 years old, I won't look like an old man. You know what I'm saying? I won't look like no old man. I won't look all frail. I won't look all old. I'll still have my youth. I have longevity in life, and I still have the youth of my younger days at an older age, because once more again, it goes back to that great moderation. You know what I'm saying? It goes to that great moderation of how we have to spend our lives. So I'm telling my brothers here today, you can go to that gym, brother. You could get really strong. You could work out. You could be strong in your 30s. You could be strong in your 40s. Maybe even strong in your 50s. But when your 60s come in, it's going to be downhill, because you used all of your life force. You know what I'm saying? Everything and everyone, everything on this earth has a life force. What do you mean? How strong is that creation? You know what I'm saying? How strong is it? A life force. Vitality. Now, pushing out all of your life force, you know what I'm saying? You only be able to use it for those little 30, maybe 40 years. Maybe. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm saving my life force that I have for my older years. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be stronger in my latter days. You know what I'm saying? I want to be stronger in my older days, because I already know people shrink, people get little, people start losing weight, but it still goes back to that life force that every man has. You know what I'm saying? How will you spend it? It's like coins going into a casino. In your younger years, you know what I'm saying? You cash out, you won. You know what I'm saying? You won, you hit the jackpot. But then as you got older, you spent it all away. Now you're broke again. You know what I'm saying? The vitality, the life force, how much are you willing to spend of it? And as I look at the longevity of life and however long that God places me to be on this earth, I don't want to be weak. I don't want to be frail. I don't want to be dim in my eyes, because I used up all my life force in the gym or working out. So once more again, to be a stronger man in your latter days, your older days. Remember, we are not supposed to be weak in our elder days. We are supposed to look the same. We are supposed to have strength. When you looked at Moses, when you looked at Abraham, when you looked at Isaac, when you looked at them, you know what I'm saying? Even though they were 80 and they were 90 years old, they still looked as if they were in their 40s, in their prime. So it's all on your life force. How much of it is you gonna pull out? Remember, everything on this earth has a life force. It has a vitality. You know what I'm saying? Life, you know what I'm saying? Then it has the expansion. So you speed up your life. You know what I'm saying? When you start taking out your life force, you know what I'm saying? You spent 10 years taking out your life force. You just took 20 years off your life like that. So it's real serious for a man. So I just ask you, brother, you know what I'm saying? You can be strong. You know what I'm saying? You can look very big and all of that stuff, but it's spinning up your life force that you have inside of you. Everything on this earth that's alive have a life force. How much of it is you gonna spend? I choose to be stronger in my latter days. Now, this has been your brother Jehoshaphat Israel here in the house that God has made. Glory, glory to the eternal, forever living God.
No disrespect, Mr. Johnson. I was just wondering, what's up with he's just doing this a lot. It just seems like he's nervous or something. Maybe because he lost a lot of weight. I'm not really sure, but you know who else lost a lot of weight and nobody really said nothing? Mr. Dave Bautista, man. Look at him. And you know, both of these reasons were from being an actor. They said it was because of some movie role. They had to lose a lot of weight. Same thing with Mr. Old Johnson or whatever. I don't know, man. But what do y'all think? Like, why are all